Okay, so certified information system security professional. Now, if you see, CISSP have a two important words: security professional. Okay, so mainly in organization we have a two types of role: security professional and your security, you can say, implementer. Okay, so if you understand what is the role of security professional and what is the role of security implementer, that means your more than 50 to 60% work has done for CISSP. Security professional who always part of making a strategy. Security professional always give advice. Security professional always do risk assessment, risk management, when he actually perform any task for organization. For example, if you want to implement any new solution, what security professional does? First, he perform risk assessment. What is the impact if he is going to implement the particular solution? What is the benefits for the business? Because security professional, many times I ask a very simple question: what is the cyber security? And many professional response: cyber security, all technical words. For CISSP, cyber security is a business enabler. So for CISSP, if you want to achieve, putting without putting lots of effort, you have to understand, uh, and you have to develop your mindset. When you are going to give any solution, always your advice, your recommendation, your solution must be business driven, must be always support to business. It's not you are going to provide a solution and it will impact the functionality of the business. No, that means this is not a good solution, this is not a good advice. Okay, now security implementer always implement solution what you advise. So for example, if you'll get a clear direction from senior management, we are going to implement robust password policy for all your privilege account, right? And that this is just a simple statement, one liner, you can say, a statement. Now as a security professional, you have to develop policy. Okay, and you have to take approval from senior management. So always approved anything, okay, by senior management. And as a security professional, you have to develop policy, and just you pass that policy to your security implementer who will implement the security. So you can say like they just use that policy and the standard and procedure, and they will start implementing those policy. Okay, so when you are attempting any question for CISSP, always your mindset must be business oriented, must be as an advisor, always think about risk assessment, risk management, and always give advice which support your business requirement, which support your business objective. Sorry for that, because I know some problem with pen, so it's not able to articulate. Okay, so for example, if you're going to start any process, if you're going to start any business, what is the most important thing? you know First, mission. Okay, the mission is we are going to open one business in European country, any European country, you can say, or maybe you are going to open a business in any other country. Okay, this is your mission. Okay, this is your vision. Sorry, and to fulfill the vision, you have to start making mission. Mission is nothing, you can say, what is your objective, goal, and objective. Now you identify, you define your goals and objective. So on base of goals and objective, you have to start developing a strategy. And when you develop a strategy, then you have to develop tactical plan. And tactical plan always driven by security professional. When you develop tactical plan, after that you have to develop your operational plan. And operational plan always implemented by your security implementer. So, for example, you develop that tactical plan like BCP plan, DR plan, your policy, change management procedures. You have just developed, you take approval from senior management, and after that, you have to pass to operation team. Operation team will start implementing. So for CISSP, always your mindset, business driven. Always you have to correlate with every decision with risk management, risk assessment, how you are going to uh, support business. That means value added. And third is your PPT. That means people, process, and technology. So first is always focus on people, how you are actually supporting people, then how you are using process to support business, and after that technology. So technology always last. And fourth one is your papa, you know that codes of ethics. So when you are going to respond any questions, always also relate with your codes of ethics, ICS square codes of ethics. So for example, your, you know that short form is a papa. That means your decision always support your society, commonwealth, infrastructure means where you are working. Second, always you must be act honorably, honestly, okay, legally. Third, provide diligent and competent services. And fourth, your advance and protect professional. Okay, so when you are getting any option, all four elements you have to relate, and after that you have to respond. Many times we have discussed CISSP is a not it's actually management certification, is not technical. So you can expect not more than 1 to 2% technical part, and technical part when you will get, that means you are not doing well. Okay, so that means you are doing very bad, then you will get more technical question. If you are doing very good, you will get all management question. So for example, if you are a advisor of any company, and you are going to as a consultant you are going to advise, and you are you know taking care of physical security as well. Okay, and because of some interest you are trying to give approval for any one solution, which is actually that solution is faulty, that can harm people. Okay, so we have to relate, it's actually it's not ma- not following the your first rule, protect society, right? So you have to relate like this, and then you have to respond your all you know all your questions. Okay, so today we'll focus some questions, and after that some topic I will try to highlight where you have to focus for this exam perspective. So CISSP, we have some hot topic. If you are very well in those topic, we can easily complete this exam within 125 questions. But if you are lacking, then your exam will drag till 175 as well. Okay, so today agenda is question discussion, and after that exam preparation plan. The first question. So most important domain for CISSP perspective, domain 8, and mainly your SDLC phases. So you can expect approx 7 to 8 question from particular topic. And if you are very well in particular topic, you can easily clear your domain 8. But if you are lacking, then you will get more question from other section as well. Okay, so yes, if you are going to develop any application, if you are going to develop any system, you have to consider security as earlier as possible. Okay, so now here is the reason. If you are considering security, maybe you are going to consider later phase. That time, what is the impact? Cost, time, efforts, You know that in our industry, everything when you are going to develop, you have to do as a plan wise. So for example, you are going to launch one application after 3 months, and when you consider security in later phase, maybe it will go more than 6 months as well. So lots of things happen, right? Cost, effort, resources, time, okay, and also impact on business and your repo as well. Already you have committed some product to launch in market, right? Already you have actually published, we are going to launch this product within 3 months, but it will take more than 6 months. It's a business impact, right? So for dominate and for CISSP perspective, always remember two things, okay? SDLC phases as per NIST and SDLC phases as per CVK. Okay, so as per NIST, we have only four phases. Your first, your initial phase, you can say your initiation phase. Second, your development and acquisition phase. Then your implementation phase, and then operation and, or you can say, sunset phase. Only four phase. But if you will refer your CVK, we have a more seven phases. So for the first phase, your project initiation and planning, your function requirement, then design specification, then your development and implementation, then documentation, then testing and evaluation, then your transition, production, implementation, and your operation and maintenance. So you can make one chart, okay? Because in exam they are not going to ask they are not going to highlight they are going to ask question from NIST or as per CVK. No. So through option you have to identify. For example, if you are getting question like acquisition, implementation phase, mainly development and acquisition, you have to immediately you have to start thinking as per NIST perspective. Okay. So in particular, this question, the answer is C. Okay. First, you have to define security requirement when you are going to develop any application or any system. The first phase is initiation phase, and it's you have to uh, define your security requirement in initiation phase. Okay, no developing your developing security model in parallel is a no. Your application design and specification is no, because your design phase you have to do threat modeling. Always remember, for exam point of view, which phase you have to do threat modeling? Application design and specification phase. Okay, so you have to relate like this. If you are going to buy anything from for for your house, what generally we did actually trying to identify what is the our requirement. Okay, our requirement is one laptop that containing approx 32 GB RAM, because we are going to set up one lab. Okay, you can say like malware analysis lab, right? So we need that 32 GB RAM laptop. This is your requirement phase, right? So we have to relate like this because in CISSP 80 to 90% you have to understand, but 20% you have to remember many things. It's a huge content, right? So you have to remember. But when you are doing questions, always trying to use no, always trying to find out a wrong answer. Okay, don't try for right answer. Always try what is wrong and why is wrong, and after that you will get right one. Okay. Okay, so answer is C. Next question. Now please respond. So this question belongs to yes, dominate. But if you see the option, Okay, yes, answer is A. So always testing should be performed in your implementation phase. Now, so how we can actually categorize, and please note down so that now my pen is start working. Okay, when you're talking about CVK, your CVK phases and your NIST. So what we need to do in CVK, what is the first phase? Your project initiation and planning. Okay, and NIST same initiation. You can say first. You can say first. So answer is A. Okay. Now, second, your function requirement. Okay. Now here, what is this? Your development and acquisition. Okay. In development and acquisition, it's cover approx. You can say 4 to 5. Your SDLC phases. So your design and your specification. Third, fourth, your development and implementation. Fifth, your documentation. Sixth, your testing. Okay, and testing, two very important point. Always remember, in testing and evaluation, two sub, you can say, some sub activity happen. Your certification and accreditation. So, for example, if you are going to, certification and your accreditation. Certification is technical evaluation, and accreditation is your management approval. Sometimes maybe you will get management approval, but your product will fail in certification. Sometimes you will get certification, but it will fail in accreditation. Right? So always remember, for certification is a technical evaluation, and your accreditation is a management approval. Now, if you're talking about technical evaluation, that means you have to, check all parameters that product is meeting your security requirement or not. Right? This is a very simple statement, and then you have to relate. So all these points, all these phases cover your development and acquisition. And your seventh, implementation, cover your implementation phase. And your operation and maintenance, cover your sunset, same operation and maintenance. Now you have to know that what is the meaning of operation and maintenance. That means already you have acquired that product. And yeah, team, uh, it's not mean every time you are going to develop. Might be possible you are going to no, acquire some product. Okay, so if you are acquiring, if you are purchasing, you have, maybe you are going for courts. Okay, courts application, still you have to perform all these exercise. If you are getting questions, you have to relay. Okay, and you know that what is the meaning of operation and maintenance. In operation and maintenance, if you are doing some changes, you have to follow change management process, right? And if you are doing change management, again, you have to do testing. Okay, and again you have to follow your certification and accreditation process, because you have done changes, right? Or now, if you relate with your domain 6, you have to do all types of testing as well. Regression testing, your static, dynamic, everything. If you're going to add something, you're going to remove something, right? So in CISSP, you have to think like this. If you are getting any questions related, and if you are getting any word also in option, okay, so you have to relate with this domain because every process related to each other. Okay, so answer is A, and this is important. You have to remember for exam point of view. Okay, next question. Very important domain, very important topic. Okay, very important topic. And if you'll put 45 minutes, not more than 45 to 1 hours, you can easily get a very good hold of this particular topic. And you know that CISSP exam more than 60% English test. So you have, here is not I'm saying grammar test, but they are trying to play with words. Okay, so what we are going to refer in your books, CVK, and many you can say resources, might we will not get the same word in exam. Okay, now the reason is very clear because uh, that all questions set by different professionals. Okay, and you know that in our industry the uh, same activity in other organization, they are actually they have a different terms also. Okay, so this is the reason behind you will get some different words. So answer is D. Always risk assessment, and risk always address in initial phase. Always remember for exam point of view. So I'm trying to highlight here. Please note down some words, and if you remember, you can easily, uh, solve mainly SDLC phases. You can easily clear. Okay. So project initiation and planning. Always security requirement defined. I'm just highlighting your first phase. I'm not writing your initiation and planning. Okay. Always your security requirement. Okay. Second, always conduct your RA, risk assessment, and define your security strategy. These three activity happen in your initiation and planning phases. Always remember for exam point of view. You can note down and you have to remember. Okay. Second, your functional requirement, like functional requirement. So you have to identify your security area. That means where you are going to implement and where you are going to uh, implement your security. What is the security area? Which is, you can say, like need control to protect this particular product. Then you have to your establish no develop your security requirement. Now here we are considering, okay, we are trying to find out what is the security requirement. Here we are establishing. See, only words have a problem. If establishing, you have to refer functional requirement, and if you are determining or if you are finding, you have to refer your project initiation plan. Okay, now in same phase you have to do your security testing, and also you have to include your functional security requirement in the same phase. So these words and keywords you have to remember for exam point of view. Now if you go in system design, you have to establish your security specification. Okay, security specification. Second, you have to no update your security test plan because you are going to test security, right? So you have to develop your test plan. mainly your security test plan. And then you have to document your security baseline you have to document, and also your threat modeling, TM, you have to done in your design phase. You have to remember for exam point of view. Now your development and implementation, mainly development and implementation, what happened, we start developing the source code. You have to start finding, your software quality, what is the reliability, what is the consistency of operation. Okay, you have to do code review, everything done in your development and implementation phase. Okay, you have to you have to start documenting your job function, system function. Okay, what is this, software quality, data validation, and your manual code review, everything done in your development and implementation phase. Okay, acceptance, you're trying to identify the product is meeting security requirement or not, right? So you have to remember for exam point of view. And now you're testing and evaluation, that means your sanitization test about data, you're no trying to your user acceptance test, you have to identify your test result, everything, flaws, everything, right? So these pointer you have to remember to target mainly SGLC phases questions. And I'm saying 7 to 8 question you will get if you are able to target, and if you have a very good hold in SDLC phases, this domain you can easily clear easily. But if you are not, then they will start asking your DBMS question, your uh, uh, some attacks and everything, but they will initially target your SDLC pages. So this domain is most important for exam point of view, particular the this topic. Okay, so answer is D, because initiation phase you can say your initiation planning, and a specification your design phase, testing your testing and evaluation phase. So they will play with words as well. Okay, so always remember this question. So team, my question is, what is the primary objective of no passing the CISSP exam? CISSP certification give you chair, right, to showcase knowledge. So this is the primary objective. If you have a knowledge but you don't have a certification, you know uh, many, you can say, in your organization also, if you're trying to give some advice, they will actually take sometimes granted, right? But if you have a certification, this have everything, that means he has a very good knowledge, like this. Okay, so same thing, when you'll get any question about primary, most, base, you have to think end game, what is the primary objective. Now question is saying, what is the primary objective of change management process? So approach is totally different. If you have a CISSP certification and if you have a CISSP knowledge, your approach is totally different. If anyone don't have, it's totally different. Okay. Okay. So primary objective of change management to protect your organization from unauthorized changes. If change management process will not there in your organization, please think in this perspective, what happened? Anyone can change anything. Okay, maybe your SOC team change anything. Your firewall that SME can do anything in your on. Okay, you don't have any change management process. What you will do? You can change policy as per your convenient, right? You can change server as well without thinking what is the impact. So that they establish a change management process. And change management process also, you know that they have a 6 step. So if you want to do any changes, what is the first step you have to do, team? Request. First you have to do request. When you request, okay, the manager will evaluate. What they will do? They will review this change. If you want to change some rules in firewall, or if you want to change any features in your application, what is the impact on business, right? Is it giving positive impact? Yeah, we are actually receiving no every day, you can say, like more than 10 or 15 that tickets. And if you'll implement these particular changes, we'll receive not more than 5 or 6, right? Yes, protect the business, right? Okay, so they will review on base of what, PPT, people process technology. It should be support your business, right? Because one statement always remember: business can exist without security, but security can't exist without business. Okay, so our always suggestion and solution must be, you have to support business. How we can enhance functionality, protecting security. Okay, it's not mean I'm saying you have to leave it everything, but you have to reduce risk. It's not mean you can say no, it's not possible. If it is not possible, I think secure it's not the security professional requirement is, you can say, is very minimal for organization. I am a business owner, I can say I want to do business in this country. Now, as a security professional, we can say, yes, we can do, but we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 risk. We need some resources to reduce risk on acceptable level. Then we can do business. If you are doing no, 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 we can't do business, please stop. Okay. So tomorrow what happen? They will say, thank you very much, sir. You can go. You can leave my organization. Right. Either you can say, okay, you can hold for 3 months. After 3 months, we can start with certain controls, so we can protect our business. Okay, so as a security professional, as a CISSP, your role is, you can say, you have to make a uh, bridge between your business people and technical people. So CISSP professional have a capability, and after achieving certification, you have built a capability to translate technical language in business language and business language in technical language. So good CISO and good security professional understand business very well, and you have to develop hybrid model inside you. Now, hybrid model means you have a technical knowledge as well as business knowledge. If you have a pure techie guy, it's also, you can say, like compared to hybrid guy, your you can say career development is minimal if you compare. So CISSP also teach you how to translate business to technical to business. Okay, so it's the most important. So when you request, they will review, and after that they may be approve or maybe reject. If your changes is protecting business, giving some value added, they will approve. And if your request is not giving any value add, and maybe they are actually harming business, some negative impact on business, they will reject, right? Because they have to correlate with risk appetite, right? Risk tolerance. Okay, and after that they can actually give. When we'll get approve or reject, for example, you will get approve, then what you will do, you have to test. Okay, where you need to test him? Testing environment, sandbox environment. Okay, non-production environment, right? Yes. Okay, you have to test, and after that you have to implement. Now here, one very important point. Okay, when you are going to implement, what element always and what plan you have to develop. This is exam point. Your rollback plan, right? If something happen, you have to roll back, right? This is the exam point you have to, and then you have to document. This is your, you can say it's different, but it's depend upon scenario to scenario. Okay. Okay, so non-production environment, sandbox environment, your testing environment. Testing means what? Sandbox means you are going to just making one server on sandbox and you are trying to test the particular thing. Mainly sandbox used for malware analysis and everything. Okay, so three terms if they can use, so same time you can relate with. Yeah, yes, it's same thing. So that I say, no, they are trying to play with words. Okay, so when you will now here one tricky question might be a question may be asked. No, some emergency is there and you have to do changes. Okay, so you have to follow all these phases, all these steps. No, you have to change. Okay, and you have to document. Then after that you have to take approval and everything, right? Okay, so answer is B. Always you have to protect from unauthorized changes. Okay, because they are asking primary. All answer is right. But what is primary objective of change management process? Okay. Okay, next. So team, the question belongs to, if you see domain 7, your IM, incident management. Incident management is the most important for exam point of view. You can expect 3 to 4 questions. 3 to 4. One question you can expect a drag and drop and all steps and everything. Now here also little bit trick. You have to remember two things. Your IM as a NIST and IM you can sans or you can say your CVK or CIVEX. Okay. So NIST you have only 3 steps, right? You can say only your 3 steps. What? Your, you can say your detection, or you can say your identification, or you can say your analysis. Okay, this is your first step. Always remember in exam point of view, they will confuse you with words. Your second step is your containment, your eradication, and your recovery. Okay, your third step is post incident. Okay, so mainly you have to remember eradication, your RCA happen, or sometimes they can play with word post mortem. So always relate post mortem means what is post mortem. RCA means where you have to ask question why, right? And then you will get answer. And post incident means is nothing, you can say your lesson learned. Okay, you have to documents so that if in future if you get same type of same frequency, same type of behavior, that incident you can cater, we can actually respond. Okay, now for CVK you have a detection, you have your response, then you have your mitigation, then you have a reporting, then you have a recovery, then your remediation, and then your lesson learned. See, so when you will get through option you are trying to identify. Okay, now generally what actually do we perform when we'll get any incident. So for example, you have a system, Okay, and we actually you can say like you get no, you observe some attack happen. Okay, ransomware attack happen. So what is the first action you have to do? You have to perform, no? You have to identify, you have to confirm this isn't happen or not, right? Then what you do second, you have to take action. Containment is what you have trying to reduce the impact. So how you can reduce the impact, team? How you can reduce the impact? You can isolate this system. Directly you can't isolate, right? First you have to confirm the incident happened, maybe false positive, right? So second your step is containment. Then you have to reduce your impact, and after that you have to eradication. That means you have to try to find a root cause of analysis. Okay, then you have to do recovery phase. Recovery is a nothing, you have to restore your system, and after that your post incident. That means you are doing lesser learn part. This is a just a incident. Here same, you have to detect is nothing, you have to confirm, yeah, incident happened. Then you have to response. Okay, now sometimes they actually use one word, triage. So if you will get these words. So triage activity, what you need to do, you have to actually prioritize your task. You're trying to find out the impact. You have to align your resources. Somewhere you find the planning also. In NIST also, you first is a planning, then identification, then containment, reduction, and post. Planning means you are trying to plan your IM part, your incident management, you know, that process and everything you have to do. Okay, so first you have to identify the incident happen or not. Now here is a no option identification, right? So second option you have to containment. That means you have to isolate affected system. Now here is a catch. Now here also is given isolate the online backup server because the ransomware attack, right? So maybe you can protect first your server, your backup server, because backup server also there, no? If you protect backup server because the ransomware attack, so you can actually uh, you can do proper recovery. You can use your backup server for recover all data. But why answer D? Why not B? Because the best countermeasure of ransomware is you have a backup data, right? You have to backup, and it's not best practices where you are going to you are doing backup, online backup, right? Okay, so first you have to isolate, and after that you can go backup. Okay, always remember this point. So they will try to play with words. Okay, so that I'm trying to say that always read question 2 times, 3 times, and relate with options. Please don't jump. First door you're trying to isolate, and after that you have to validate. Senior management notify senior management. It's later part. First you have to reduce the impact, right? And after that you have to notify senior management. It's not when you are going to notify senior management first and then after that you are going to isolate. So might be that attacker take lateral movement and they can actually infect some other system. Okay, so the answer is D. Next question, your business uh, oriented approach. Second, your risk management, your PPT, and your papa. When you responding no when you are doing practice question, and if you are in a real exam also, the 4 things always remember and try to relate. And your PPT will cover CIA. Okay, because you know that CIA is a pillar of info security. Then you can start thinking if you are responding any questions. To protecting privacy in information system, which of the following control is considered the first? Okay, so Data reduction. What is the meaning of reduction? Reduction is nothing, you can say something you are going to edit or new version and thing, right? Okay, so this is not a first. Data minimization, yes, we can park this option, because if you have a less data, you are going to collect data what we actually needed. Okay, so for example, I am collecting your email ID and your name for the particular webinar. Okay, so I am using for this, and tomorrow start you are getting lots of things. Okay, other notification, right? That means I am trying to violating the purpose. Okay, so what is your requirement? Just collect data. Okay, so your requirement is just the email ID, so you collect only email ID, no need to collect your date of birth, name, and your all address, right? So you have a less data, so less liability, you can say, less the minimum cost required to maintain data. Okay, so this is all about your data minimization. So you can park data encryption, yes, you can also park, because if you will encrypt your data, uh, and if some data breach happen also, it will not impact. Okay, because you have a key. Okay, data storage is required for storage, but if you see, if you eliminate this one, you can eliminate easily this one. Now data minimization and encryption. Okay, so I said your business objective, your risk management, PPT, and papa, right? The four option always remember when you are solving any question. Now I am taking business objective. So what is your business objective? Business objective, you have to collect, if you have to perform anything, you have to spend no a small, you can say, amount, and you will get more benefits, right? So if you collect more data, you have a more storage, you have a more technology to protect, you need a more resource to perform, right? So it's a huge cost, right? So here minimization is meeting your business requirement, business objective. Yes, you have a less data, which required data you have actually just store, you can meet. Okay, data encryption, yes, business requirement, you have to protect data, so it's also meeting business requirement. But when you come a PPT, people, process, and technology, so people know no harm of people, eliminate, but process. Data minimization is a process. That means if you have a process where you are directly actually collecting relevant or necessary data, so you can protect your business from liabilities. You can protect your business from cost saving, right? Data encryption is a technical things. You have a cost, you need resources, right? So answer B is a suitable answer, because you have a less data. So first you have to implement your data minimization process, and after that you implement data encryption. You have a 2 GB data, right? After that you can apply encryption. First you apply encryption and you have a 500 TB data, unnecessary data. It will not work, right? Because huge cost, huge resources, huge effort, huge liability, everything. So that answer B is a suitable answer. This question, you have to protect with control. You have to protect with control. But question is asking, what is first? Okay, what is first? So for example, in your house, if you'll put a control, only actually, your friend will allow in your house, right? And if your friend will do some wrong thing, then you have a CCTV, everything to capture. So CCTV is a secondary, you can say, control. Now this is the first scenario. Second scenario, you are saying first CCTV and you allow everyone. So which one will you prefer? First control, just actually you have to filter. So same thing here, you have to minimize your data, and after that you have to apply your control. So for example, you have a only 1 GB data, so encryption cost also less, right? And you have a 500 TB data, encryption cost also more, right? So you have to relate like this. Think like manager, right? So first you have to minimize data, and after that your storage, encryption, everything you have to do without, because you are not going to store anywhere, right? You have a one storage where you have to store, and then you have to apply encryption control, right? Yeah. So first, for example, you are collecting 500 TB data, then you need a storage, bigger storage, right? So you have to minimize first, though you need uh, very small storage where cost and everything you can justify, right? But here also you can say you are going to transfer data, maybe your data in transit, then encryption, and rest to first storage and then encryption. So it's depend upon scenario. So question may be asked, you are going to send the data A to B. Now which control you have to apply? So first you have to minimize and then encryption. So saying Ramesh is a newly joined CISO in an organization who is reviewing the impact of regulation on the organization HR system. What is the next step must be performed? What is the keyword? Impact of the regulation. If you want to evaluate, if you want to review impact of any regulation, how you can do this? Determine the cost? No. How you can determine the cost? How you know that? What is the cost of compliance? When you identify the gap, right? Then you can easily evaluate. Okay, this is a non-compliance. This is the cost. This is the impact. This is the cost, right? So this is not out because it's saying next step. What is the first step? He want to actually evaluate the impact. This is the first. Is the thinking. So what he will do? No, this is not. Reviewing the organization most recent audit. Is it possible if you go trying to check audit report and you will get what is the impact on regulation? You will get a finding, maybe audit, that annual audit in December. Okay, this audit of, you can say, December 2021, right? And he's joined in March. How you can identify what is the impact on regulation impact on organization? Through old audit? Never, right? This one out. Assess the penalties of non-compliance. When he will do assessment, when identify, okay, non-compliant 1 2 3 4, okay, so what is the cost? Then you can easily identify what is the penalty, identify, right? So this one out. So what he will do? He will do gap analysis. Now what is gap analysis? First you need to understand what is the gap analysis. So gap analysis means what is your existing state and what you want to achieve. That means your existing what to say, state and your desired state. Okay, so for example, when you start evaluating your start doing analysis of your organization in regulatory analysis, uh, what is the state, current state, and what your company want to achieve. Achievement always based on your business strategy, business mission. So for example, we have a we have a today we have a, you can say, like, uh, 1 cr turnover, right? But your desired state is within 3 months you want to reach 5 cr. So this is a desired state. When you evaluate gap between existing state and desired state is called gap analysis. Okay, so when you will get any question about regulatory compliance, non-compliance, and you are trying to do impact analysis, always select your gap analysis answer. That means you have to perform gap analysis. You can easily get, what is the gap, what is the non-compliance issue. Okay, so through gap analysis you can easily identify impact of regulation. So this is the keyword, impact of regulation. After gap analysis you identify what is the non-compliance. You can easily find out the cost of compliance. You can easily find out the penalty of non-compliance. Okay, but through audit you can't get impact. You can't get clear visibility on impact. You can say no visibility on impact. You can get a finding because this report belongs to no previous, you can say the date and everything. You need a current report, right? So you have to do gap analysis. Okay. Okay, next. So Ramesh has just joined as a CISO in ABC Private Limited. Which of the following actions should Ramesh attention on first? So just take real example. In you are going to join one organization as a CISO and security head. What you will do? You will start performing vulnerability scan, or will you start doing a risk analysis? If you are doing risk analysis and vulnerability scan, okay, and if you are developing policy also, we need we need to discuss with your steering committee. You need to discuss with your asset owner, right? So what you will do? First, you have to discuss. You have to talk with head of department, right? And after that, you have to perform. So answer is A. You can't go blindly. If you are doing risk assessment, also you have to discuss with business heads. I'm going to perform risk assessment of your entire cyber posture. And you are going to if you are going to vulnerability scan, you have to take first business head approval, right? You can't actually run your vulnerability tool, right? So answer is A. You have to discuss with, you have to good communication with the head of department. After that, yeah, you can perform your task. Okay, so answer is A. In CISSP exam, please don't try to justify your answer in yourself. Okay, if you will start justifying, you will do lots of mistakes. It's very simple. What you will do? Sometimes it look like no, how they are asked such questions, but you will get question like this. They are not going to ask too technical where you will stuck. No, they were going to ask such question. This is a management question. It's a common sense question as well. Okay. So first you have to communicate with, and after that you have to perform. See now all activity, risk analysis, perform, development, security policy. Before doing all the tasks, you have to discuss with your business heads. You have to discuss with your department heads, right? Without taking their consent, they are taking in, you can't going to do any task, right? Yeah, so that you have to do first. Answer is A. Next question. But when you are going to initiate any program, you have to do business case, right? And business case, you have to do your cost benefit analysis. Then you will get approval, right? How will get business approval? You have to give a justification, right? Then you have to perform. Who will be responsible for enforcing access right to application data that was just acquired by organization? Team enforcing. Business owner? No. Sometime business owner, sometimes a data owner, right? So enforcement is a not a business owner and data owner task, right? Security administrator? Yes, security administrator is what? It's the data custodian, right? Or you can say data processor. So enforcement task is data custodian or data processor. Security administrator is data processor, data custodian. So answer is C. A steering committee? No, never. Enforcement task is not a steering committee. A steering committee, you know that all business head, all process head, right? So they are not going to implement. But if the same questions here, Who will responsible for approving access right to application data that was just acquired? What is the answer? Data owner. So see, only one word change whole questions. So please, when you are practicing question, when you are in real exam, read carefully, trying to understand what they are asking. You know that many times we actually read about data owner roles, security administrator roles, business owners roles, right? So please be careful about these questions. And you know that roles and responsibility, you will get minimum 2 to 3 questions. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, the best security to prevent data disclosure. Data disclosure. How you can protect data disclosure is opposite of confidentiality, right? So you can say encryption is the best answer. We can actually encrypt data and we can easily save our data, right? But please remember PPT, people process technology. Complex rule. If you put complex rule, what happen? You know that? Keep it simple. KISS principle. Don't try to make complicated environment. If you make complicated environment, what happen? Lots of problem. Lack of visibility, more resources for monitoring, right? If something down, it will take more effort to fix. Okay, out. A strong authentication, yeah, system is there, data is there, you can put strong authentication, right? But question is saying best. That means you have, when you'll get any question about best, always think end of game. So if any mean, if attacker enter in this server, okay, or you can say AD, or maybe you can say your system, and data is not encrypted, they can easily disclose, right? So compared to B and C, this one is weak. So this one also out. Now you have a strong key management and encryption. If you are doing encryption, okay, AES 256, right? You have already implemented. Yes, it's a very strong, that algorithm. No one can break. But what about your key management? If key, you know that cryptography, data will compromise is okay, but key will compromise is the biggest concern, right? And again, your PPT, you have to fix. You have encrypt, but you are not managing your key. What happened? What happened? Anyone can actually decrypt your whole, data. So that your key management is best control for data data disclosure. If key management is not there option, then your strong encryption. But key management there, so yes, you have encrypted data, but you have to follow your key management process. In key management you can apply your segregation of duty or dual control, anything to protect data, right? Because question not asking you are going to transfer data or rest on anything, right? So answer is strong your key management, then you can protect your data. Okay, next. Okay, so your data already disclose. What happen if a strong key management is not there? Anyone can decrypt, right? Encryption never actually protect from your disclosure and your exfiltration, right? If you are sharing data A to B, mine in the middle, your MITM attack happen, they can actually take your data. Yeah, it's encrypted, it's not visible, but if they have a key, they can easily decrypt, right? And if you have a strong key management, because if you have a key, I can take your data, encrypted data, I can't do anything because you don't have a key. Okay. So key management always supersede your encryption. So what is the most important thing should consider? You know that business impact, your PPT. So when you're doing any vulnerability scan, what you need to do? Always trying to identify what is the freeze time, right? Without interrupting business, you have to scan. So what is the answer? D. Yes, non-interrupt production environment. Okay, most important. If you compare with all options, so CISSP it's not. You also compare with the option. Okay, then you have to choose best one. So answer is D. Right. Okay. What is the most important factor to be considered in loss of mobile? Loss of mobile system, right? Unencrypted data. These are two keywords. Now saying personal information disclosure? No, because we are not talking about any PIA, CIA, right? Nothing. It's saying loss of mobile system, unencrypted data. Data may be sensitive, non-sensitive, anything. Is not talking about personal information. So this one out. First, replacement cost of equipment. Yes, we have to identify, right? Because we are losing mobile system, right? So we can park. Impact of data loss. Yes, because it's have encrypted data. So we have to identify what is the impact. Okay, this one also park. Sufficient coverage of insurance policy. The first we will do impact analysis, right? What is the impact? What is the cost of data? Okay, after that you can claim for insurance, right? So in general life also, if something happen with your vehicle, what we'll do? First we'll do impact analysis, and after that you have to claim insurance. So this one also out. Okay. Now first you have to impact, then you have to identify the replacement cost. Okay. So best answer is C. First you have to do impact analysis, and after that you have to perform. What about PPT? Where is talking about people first? Because question is not saying personal information. Question is not saying personal information. If question is saying, loss of mobile system containing personal information, PIA, then you can start thinking like personal information. Question is not saying na, how you can assume. There is no mention na PIA. If mention mobile system containing PIA, then you have to start thinking your PPT. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Next, risk assessment must be done annually and any changes. So if you are going to do any changes, at the same time you have to do assessment. What is the impact, right? In risk assessment, always remember two things. Okay, when you're doing to risk assessment, and always make a graph, because very important, you can expect direct 2 and 3 questions, but indirect you can say whole CISSP based on your risk assessment and risk management. Okay, yeah, answer is C. So how will do risk assessment? So first you have to identify the asset. Now when you identify the asset, the asset have a different terms to identify. You have an asset inventory, then you have to do cost. And cost, if you are doing, maybe your cost be qualitative and maybe quantitative. Okay, when you do cost, okay, and how you can identify cost? You have to discuss with owner, asset owner. Then you will get exact value. Okay, because you are a security head, you are a risk assessor, you don't know that all asset costs. So what you will do, you have to contact with asset owner, you have to discuss. Okay, the particular server will down, what is the impact? They can say if down for 1 hour, more than $10,000 impact. They can say that this is a cost. When you identify the cost, then you have to identify your threat. When you identify the threat, then you have to do vulnerability gap. What is the gap? And when you are doing vulnerability, it's your everything, people, process, technology gap. Then you have to identify the risk. What is the risk? Okay, and here risk, you have to identify what is the you know uh, possibility and what is the impact. That means what is the likelihood and what is the impact. When you identify likelihood and impact, again, it's based on maybe your qualitative and quantitative. And after that, you have to do your treatment plan. And treatment plan is your Atma. Okay. A for avoidance, T for transfer, M for mitigation, and A for acceptance. This is all about risk. But here, treatment plan, you have to do cost benefit analysis, right? Because your asset cost is $1,000 and you are implementing control and the control cost is more than $1,000, it will not work, right? So we have to do cost benefit analysis. Okay. So this is also most important. And again, when you're going mitigation plan, we have three controls. So first your administrative, then your logical or technical, and then your physical. So always evaluate your administrative without expending huge amount. If you are able to treat the particular uh, risk, this is the actually best approach. And if you are not possible, then you can go for technology. Okay, so same PPT you have to follow. This question, a very important topic. There are four terms, five terms you can say. CSI arm. What is this? Risk management framework. This question related to risk management framework. Okay, NIST. Risk management framework. Very important topic for exam point. You can expect three questions, three to four. First, categorize. Categorization of information system, right? Second step, selection. Third is not there. Okay. Third is your implementation, right? What is the fourth one? What is fourth one, Tim? Assessment. And what is fifth one? Authorization. And sixth one, monitor, right? Categorization, selection, implementation, assessment, authorization, and monitor. This is your risk management framework. For exam point of view, you have to remember categorization, selection, implementation, A for assessment, A for authorization, M for monitor, CSI arm. Okay, so what is this? That means if you are going to implement risk management framework, what you will do? First, you have to categorize. What you will categorize? Your information system. Okay, that means you can say like it's just like inventory. Okay, you have an inventory of your system. You have to categorize. Now, what is the base of categorization? Again, you have to identify the value, and after identify the value, you have to categorize, and you have to again your confidentiality, availability, and integrity base. Okay. After categorization, you have to select control. Okay. When you are selecting control, you have to establish baseline. Always remember, for exam point of view, when you select a baseline, you have to tailor, or you can say scoping or tailoring, because might be what control you are going to select completely that control is not supporting. So as per your need, you have to tailor. That you are going, uh, you want to actually make new suit, and you have just a raw material. You have to reach to tailor, and they can make as per your requirement, right? So same thing happen in any organization. If you want to implement any control, you have to just tailor as per your requirement, right? So tailoring, baseline tailoring always happen your selection of control. Okay, always happen your selection of control. Now when you select, what you will do? Already you have select the controls, you have tailor, then you start implementation part. When you implement, then you have to start assessing means you have to try to find out the effectiveness of control. What is the effective? That means that control is meeting our requirement or not, that control is providing protecting our business or not, right? After assessing, then yeah, it's fine, good. So you can say like authorization, that means you have to reach to management and take approval. Okay, you can relate like accreditation or certification for for if you want to remember like this. Okay, so you have to take approval, and again you have to start monitoring. It's just like using, you can say operation part, is it working fine, or if you need some changes, because you know that every day your surrounding threat landscape is expanding, right? So might be possible your control is not suitable for that time, so you have to monitor and you have to react on that. Okay, this is all about your risk management framework. Okay, so first you have to categorize, select, implement, assess, authorize, and monitor. Always remember, for exam point of view, 3 to 4 questions. 3 to 4. Okay, now next. So here talking about signature based detection. So you know that mainly in CISSP, the important topic is your IDS. Okay, IDS, IPS, you know that. So intrusion detection system mainly cover in CISSP. So your IDS have a two types. I'm not talking about implementation type. Okay, uh, it's have a sensor, and second is your anomaly, right? So sensor, you can say two types. Maybe you are going for hits or nits. That means your host and network, right? Anomaly type, you have a two types. Okay, your signature base and your anomaly base. Your sorry, your yeah, anomaly base. Sorry, it's an analysis engine. Sorry. Okay, so IDS have a two types: sensor and analysis engine. Sensor two types, maybe your hits or nits, and analysis engine have two types: signature based, anomaly. So signature based, you know that you have to frequently basis or daily basis you have to upload signature. So for example, you can say like your antivirus. Okay, so signature, what happen, they will match with their signature, and if it's non-threats, then they will give alert. Okay, so signature base never identify your zero day attack. You know that what is zero day? Zero day attack. Zero day. That means we don't have any patch. We don't have any identification, right? Past data, you can say like you don't have any IOC. You don't have any indicator of compromise. So signature will not work. Okay. Poorly constructed rule? No, never. Okay. Identify threats is nothing you can non-threats, right? So signature based, always remember, signature based detection system work only for non-threats. Okay. Virus code, yes, it's work virus code, but it's not talking about which codes, right? Virus code is lots of things. Okay. So answer is C. Yeah. Okay. So always focus on words. Okay. Always signature based work in non-threats. Zero days on non-threats, right? So it's never work. Okay, question. So any incident, what is the first step? You have to validate, and after that you have to take further action. Okay. So answer is B, because incident management already we have discussed. So answer is B. First you have to identify, first validate, and after that you have to do your containment things. Okay. Question. Last one. What is the best approach to determine effectiveness of control? Okay, that means already we have a controls. Now here they are not discussing about what type of controls, right? Maybe administrative, maybe logical or technical, maybe your physical, maybe detective, maybe corrective, maybe preventive, maybe compensative, right? Maybe recovery, any controls. So how we can actually determine, how we can find out that control is effective or not? Okay, why we are actually we are implementing controls. Okay, we are implementing controls to reduce the risk, right? And we identify the risk is huge. Okay, I'm talking about qualitative. Risk is high, and I'm using one firewall. The risk will reduce. Okay, that means before implementing firewall, inherent risk. Yeah, inherent risk means without, you don't have any control, and risk is there. So risk is, we are losing every day $1,000, but when you are implementing control, we are losing only 100 rupees, $100, you can say. Okay, so how you can evaluate? When you implement, you monitor, and you will evaluate. Okay, that control is meeting our objective. Our objective is to reduce the risk, reduce the risk on acceptable level. And when you will implement control, then risk will reduce on acceptable level. So this is the actually approach. So what is the answer, team? Determine preventive, detective, control? No. How you can determine? Is preventive, detective, corrective? It's very difficult to understand what is the effect. So we have some benchmark, right? So benchmark on acceptable level. Initially is $1,000. After control, $100. Okay, so how you can evaluate? If your control is meeting this requirement, that means control is effective, right? So quality of control, reliability. Quality will access, and quality will not actually prove you. Okay, always you have a benchmark. You know that business impact. So confirm control ability to meet intended objective. What is intended objective? Support business. And what is the business? Reduce risk on acceptable level. Right? So answer is C. Okay, I think it's this one last. Leave it. Okay, this one last. So greatest benefit of choosing private cloud. What is the greatest benefit on public? All are benefits. Okay, but what is greatest benefit? Because if you are going public, what is the biggest concern? Multi-tendency, right? Yes. So if you're going private, containment of customer. That means no, only you are a boss of your cloud. Yes, right? So answer is A. Okay. And cloud is most important, team. You can expect approx 5 to 6 questions, domain 3. Okay. So if you have a basic understanding about cloud, public, private, hybrid, AAS, PaaS, SaaS, okay, and CASB. All these topics are very important for exam point of view. And if you already attempt this exam, you can actually relate.